From here on out, every foul is flagrant, boy. Let's go. What's up? Came in a chokehold, more balls than Esco. Alright, maybe
you are now tuned into the chat room, your favorite baller's favorite podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Chatroom Podcast. This is season 2, episode number 16. And on this one, we don't have any guests. It's just the crew with us. So with me today, I got Coach.
What's going on, yo? What's going on?
Got Dewayne.
What's going on?
Got MJ.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Got Jermaine.
Popping, let's get it.
And as you can see, everyone's rocking their merch. You probably can't see from mine, but mine is up too. We got it. So everyone got their merch on today just because it's just us. So how y'all feel with the new merch?
It's dope. Comfy. Good quality. Yep. Everything came out good. Everyone's happy with it.
But that's shit, yo.
All black,
Good
baby.
shit. I fucking guy. Yeah, I know, right?
Yo, hey. Talk about that one later.
Yeah, that's another discussion for another time. So yeah, before we even start, we gotta send rest in paradise to Black Rob. It's been a crazy 2 weeks if we think about the legends that just passed. And I was having a discussion with somebody and they were like, "Who's Black Rob?" And I said,
No,
how are you 30 and don't know Black?
How old are they? Oh, they're 30?
I was like, how are you 30 and don't know Black Rob? Like,
you have to stop that combo immediately, man.
it's
just respond with a whoa.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
That's it.
That's the track right there, too.
Yeah, man.
And some of y'all weren't here for the last episode, so not just only rest in peace, Black Rob, but once again, rest in peace to Darkman X, Earl Simmons.
Rest in peace.
And we discussed it. Jermaine, myself, and Coach discussed it last episode, but let's just ask you, Dewayne and MJ, favorite DMX track?
Oh, I would say for me, it's got to be Slippin'. I love that song. I played that song. I mean, even to this day, that song, the replay value is crazy with that song. I think that's my favorite DMX song. I'm hearing it a lot more now too. Like that's like everyone that I've seen post like rest in peace to him. That's the song that's the song they're playing.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
His pain spoke through his music, and yeah, man, that's one of those songs that he just shows how great of a storyteller he is.
Yeah, that track is deep.
Yeah, like he's been a storyteller, like him, Jay. There are certain artists who paint a picture when they're kind of going through their rhymes. Nas kind of has some tracks where he does that as well.
Yeah.
But it's just that storyteller, So
yeah.
X was good at that.
For me, Who We Be, I don't know what about that track. That was Who We Be was my track forever. I don't know that track. That was the ball track. That was the ball track. When you have a game, that's what you play before the game. That track. Warm up.
When the man did like a whole 16, then at the end. Yeah, bro. Like, come on.
I don't skip that part ever. I don't ever skip that part. I play that track to the end every time. Every time. But yeah, that's I don't know if that's my favorite, but that's the first one that comes to mind. You asked me about my favorite DMX track for sure.
Honestly,
all right.
I'll just say that honestly, like for people who didn't really fuck with X, really, that whole verses with him and Snoop Dogg really reminds you of like the hits that he had, So
yeah,
it was tough.
No, for sure.
And it's been a crazy time, but we just wanted to say rest in peace. Rest in paradise to both of those legendary artists right there before we move on, because the next thing we gotta say is rest in paradise to somebody's boxing career. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, last night, from the time of this recording, was the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight. Not even fight. The Jake Paul Ben Askren exhibition. So there, I woke up this morning and I saw a bunch of videos of they were showing Ben Askren getting beat up by RDA and the amount of punches that he took in that one, and still ended up winning the fight. And said, how was he able to take so many punches then, but just one punch from Jake Paul put him to sleep like that?
Oh yeah, I saw the clips from like Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, it was Robbie Lawler. My bad, not RDA. Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, I saw the Robbie Lawler one. Yeah, I saw that.
You think he?
But like, he has a recipe for a boxing career, because he's not even a boxer. The guy's a wrestler that just saw a paycheck.
Yeah,
people are saying that's rigged. I don't know if it was rigged.
To me, from what I saw, the fight was fixed. He probably made a ton of money.
The punch was clean 100%. The punch was clean 100%, but I don't know. He walked away smiling from it. He didn't look upset about the loss.
It looked fixed.
I don't know. Regardless, I watched it. I tuned in. I didn't pay for it, but I definitely I watched it. But it was entertaining. It was entertaining for the most part.
I seen the full fight on an IG clip.
Yeah, exactly. The full fight.
The full fight on IG clip. I was good with that.
All I want from this point on is Snoop to do announcing for everything. I need Snoop announcing UFC. I need him doing the Fight Club. I don't care. That guy is the most impressive. Yeah, he's so entertaining.
Very entertaining.
I didn't like Pete Davidson on there at all, though.
No, not at all. I heard him on that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Pete Davidson at all, but yeah,
he's annoying to me. He's just annoying to me.
Who, Pete Davidson?
Yeah, he's just annoying to me. That's all.
So, how do you feel Nate Robinson feels right now?
Good. He was happy. He was in the comments.
He commented.
He's saying he wants a rematch. He's saying he wants a rematch. I don't know what he's thinking, but
Nate needs to chill.
Because honestly, to be honest,
that's their adrenaline talking. That was their adrenaline talking.
Jake is actually trying to be a boxer. Like, he's doing this full time.
Yeah.
I just know Nate's not doing this full time. Like, this is what Jake wants to do. But Nate, I don't know, bro. That should never happen again. It probably won't happen again. They're not going to pay Nate to do that again.
No, no way.
The next go round, he might be killed.
Oh my goodness!
This whole industry is a clown show now, man.
Yeah. That Triller company seems to be
making money.
They seem to have a hand in almost all those like celebrity things that are going on.
Sure.
So good for them.
Hell yeah, make the money, man.
When IPO time comes around, you're gonna see them 000 ringing up for them.
Exactly.
Triller was considered a dying company at one point, and now it looks like they're taking over celebrity thing with Versus being on Triller, with the Fight Clubs being on Triller. It's they're stepping up into a whole nother area right now. So let's just see where else they're going with it, because it's going to be impressive.
Next stop, they're probably going to see if they can get some advertising in the big three or something like that. See if they can get into that. I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. That'd be a good business move, though.
Yeah.
That'd be a great 100%.
one. Definitely. They might give the Zone a run for their money with the sports that they might bring to the app at that point. So, well, that's pretty much all we can say about that. If this conversation was longer than the fight. So, so let's move to the next thing, and let's jump into the NBA, because that's what we've been talking about this in our group chat for a while. But let's put it on video now, video and audio. So, what were some of the biggest mid-season additions that you guys feel has been the biggest mid-season addition so far?
Can we get fanfare to start with that, please?
Yeah. I was gonna say that.
I know what you guys want me to say. I know what y'all want me to say. You want me to talk about the Raptors? I know you do. With the Gary Trent. I know you want me to say it. Yeah, he's been hooping. Yes, we crap. I know it. We're garbage. We ain't good. I get it. But I want to talk about.
Though, man. That was a good pickup.
I mean, it was. It didn't really help us too much.
He's not
the win column, but for him individually, his performance is great. He's a great.
He's locked in, bro.
He's a really good
Gary Trent is not going to show up right now. Like he's not going to be that piece that shows up right now. But
he's playoffs.
If you add him,
we can get there. If
Siakam was what you guys paid him to be, then you would see the impact that Gary Trent has, because he's one of those guys that he has the Westbrook mentality where he doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't go out there and play. And he has to work hard, and he has a skill he has a skill that a lot of other guys don't really have. So I know I seen a stat the other day with Norman Powell was like his top 3 or whatever in catch and shoot percentage in the corner. But Gary Trent is a all around 3-point shooter. Like he spread the floor out and he shoots it really, really, really well. So he's one of those guys that benefit you when you have other guys on the court. But if you guys don't have others on the court, he's just meaningless points. Like I know he had 40 maybe 2 weeks ago.
44.
But he's not that type of guy.
He's not that kind of guy. He's one of those guys that he'll give you 24 in a playoff game where if he was on Lakers, oh my goodness, bro.
Or he'll be thriving right now.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
It's crazy.
But the thing is, though,
you got one job, bro. You got one job.
One job. That's it.
The thing is, though, because of all the injuries the Raptors have, they're asking a lot of him.
Of
course.
So next season we will really see how they utilize him, right?
Yeah.
But if they want him to be the number 1, number 2 guy, it's not going to work long term for them.
He's not that. He's not that.
Not that guy, in my opinion.
But outside of the Raptors, I would say it has to be Chicago Bulls, the Vucevic.
A lot of people talking about that.
The Bulls, it makes them a lot better. Yeah. And the Bulls have been playing very well as of late.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good pickup for them.
They're fighting for a playoff spot too, and with these NBA protocols, having Zach LaVine having to miss 14 days, it's kind of annoying for them. It kind of hurts their playoff chances. But
I mean, it happened to the Raptors, right? Look, the Raptors were a 1 game over 500, and then we went on a 9-game losing streak. So it does hurt the team.
Raptors,
protocols.
Yeah. But yo, Francis, even you and M's team, Lakers, yo. I mean, damn, bro. Well, I mean, you guys got your piece, or you guys got it. So,
who are you talking about?
I mean, Drummond, bro.
Andre Drummond.
Yeah, that's a huge pickup, man.
He's having a hard time acclimating from what he's saying. He's just having a rough time.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna say one of the biggest pickups was Aaron Gordon to Denver. Yeah. I think that was a huge pickup. The problem that I see with it is that at this point, with the Jamal Murray injury, that kind of works against the pick and roll that they can be doing, the pick and pop that they can be doing, because then you'd have the threat of Jamal Murray coming off, trying to attack or shoot, or then passing up, and you know what I mean? So
here's my question to you guys. So if this is to Senator and anyone else who thinks that as well, would you if you were Denver, would you rather Jeremy Grant or Aaron Gordon?
I'm gonna pick Aaron Gordon.
So my whole thing is Aaron Gordon is probably better offensively, but on that roster, they don't need offensive talent.
No.
So I think them going out to go get because at the start of the year they let Jeremy Grant walk for 2 years, 19 mil or whatever, something low like that, and they let Tony walk for the same amount of money. So they lost 2 guys who were long, athletic, who played defense, who worked hard, who did all the dirty things that Jokic is not going to do, that Jamal Murray's not really going to do that. All those, the Gary Harrison, they're not going to do that stuff. So they lost those 2 guys who really gave Clippers fits. Like those 2 guys had a really good series against the Clippers, right? So you lost those 2 guys, and then they see that the beginning of the year, yeah, sure, Jamal Murray is good, really young talent. Like, you know, like it's tough to happen to him. And Jokic is really good talent as well. But they don't have nobody on that team that's going to go out and do that dirty work for them. So them getting Aaron Gordon, even though he's a better offensive talent, I don't think they're to me, they're essentially a step below what they were last year.
Yo, I disagree. Yeah. You know what about
still lost Murray?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but I kind of disagree with you because I feel like now, with Jamal Murray being injured, these guys have the opportunity to thrive off that small, this little things that they want to do on the court. This is the opportunity to do it. You know what I'm saying? And and a lot of people are playing for contracts right now or that paycheck, right? So, Aaron Gordon for me, he's been in a lose situation for how long, bro? First time winning, what was it, 7 games in a row? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. So, I think that at this point in his career, he knows he can get buckets, but I think he needs to like look at the team aspect and be like, you know what? I'm going to do what the team asked me to do. So if they want me to play D, I'm going to play D.
And I think one of the problems with the argument that you just presented is that we're not asking what was the biggest midseason moves from last year. It was what's the biggest midseason move of this year. And I think, yes, at the start of the year they lost those 2 players, but that was still, to me, one of the biggest pickups for that team. That was a move that helped that team. So I'm not comparing them to last year. I'm comparing them to the start of the season.
I mean, if we're and go ahead, I'll go after.
I see I don't think it's that great of a pickup for Denver. Like I don't see them being going from a second round team to a Western Conference Finals because of that pickup. Like I don't see a big impact in like I don't know personally, but I think it's a big move for Aaron Gordon individually for his career, but because in Orlando he was just wasted talent over there. But even with Jamal Murray gone, like from what I've watched with the Denver games, it's usually Jokic and Aaron Gordon.
Sure.
Like
100% Jokic.
That's the duo. Like Jamal Murray and Jokic still do their thing, but Jamal Murray is more of a bucket getter. Like the playmaker on that team is Jokic. So when he's at like the top, like high post, and Aaron Gordon's running all over the paint, that's when he benefits the most. But I still see them. I don't know. The Jamal Murray injury obviously hurts them a lot, but even with him there, I didn't see that trade.
They can actually bounce back from that too, bro. Because like that's what I mean. Like him getting injured, like see how Lakers are doing right now. These guys have the opportunity to show them what they can do without the
Absolutely,
stars.
Of course.
Denver has the opportunity to do that right now. Like, what's his name again?
They're supposed to pick up Austin Rivers too, right? Did that happen?
Bro, that'd be a huge pickup.
I don't know if that happened. Did it happen? I can't remember if it
didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Not yet. Like if we're talking about moves that really matter, right? The two moves that really, like the two moves that really matter going forward. And I like Oladipo on the Heat, but as I was saying in the group way before, that wasn't the move that they needed to make. Honestly, the move that they should have made, they should have put Tyler Hero in that deal and go get
Kyle Lowry.
That's the move they should have made because Hero, he doesn't even start for them. So like
all because of him, they let that trade fall apart.
Like that was him. Like Oladipo, like he kind of fits that culture, like that gritty two-way player. Off the ball, like he fits that. He's like a Jimmy Butler light, kind of like at this point in his career. He fits that, but that's not the move that they need. The one spot that they're missing on the court is that guy to kind of get guys involved. And they try to make Georges do that, but he's not.
No, he's a bucket getter, bro.
Yeah, he's not that guy. Whereas Lowry will get guys involved, and then when he needs to, he'll go hit 6-7 buckets in a row. Get a charge.
I hate him, bro.
Yeah, he's a dog. The man will lead leads the league in charges every year. So,
yeah. So for the Heat, even though Oladipo helps them, well, not because he's hurt, but like in the long run, he helps them if he's still there. But the move they should have made, they should have gave up honestly whatever Raptors wanted for Lowry.
But do you think that Miami is not just looking at this year?
No, exactly.
So Kyle Lowry's contract is up at the end of this year, and with no guarantee that player is going to stay with them, are they willing to give up a future player that might be more that's long term there for a half a season?
Yo, on a Saturday. Yeah.
Go ahead. I was saying. Go ahead.
The thing about Pat Riley, he's always 5 steps ahead of everybody. So I feel like what Senator said a while ago, long term, bro, we're gonna be good. They're about to make a big move. That's gonna shake up the whole NBA.
I mean, whatever. I guess
I can see
so.
that.
But like as I was saying, the two moves that matter the most were Lakers getting Drummond. I'm not like I can talk all day about that, but that addition, like that was a huge addition. Like right now, it's not really going to show really a lot. Like we see how they're playing, like how they're dominating the post. And
No, it shows. I think it's showing.
We see that right now, but when he plays with AD and LeBron, you guys like the NBA is like I don't know. Guys know basketball is they're going to see they can see already that like LeBron having the vertical threat, LeBron and AD not having to battle anybody. He can just play basketball. He doesn't have to battle no bigs right now. And the only time he'll have to play that position is maybe to start the second quarter when Braun is sitting and to end the game. Because AD Drummond is probably not going to play in the last 6 minutes because even though he's been shooting the free throw well lately, he's historically like a 40% free throw shooter. So you're not going to have him in the game last 5 minutes of the game. You're gonna have AD at the 5. You're gonna have Braun at the 4. You're gonna have you're gonna have your small ball in the game at that moment, right? But having Drummond to play those 25 to 28 minutes a game where he's just out there banging, just dominating the paint, that's gonna change the whole landscape of the Lakers.
I have a question.
Hold on, sorry. So there's that,
and
then go ahead, and then I'll say my next team after.
It might relate to what you're about to say next, but I wanted to know what between these two teams, what was a bigger pickup for them? Like Clippers getting Rondo or Milwaukee getting PJ Tucker?
That's what I was going to say, PJ Tucker. So I personally think that Clippers should have went out and got Kyle Lowry as well. Because as much as Rondo is a great basketball mind, what he gives you right now, it's not enough right now. Like offensive shooting the ball, it's not enough right now. I think PJ Tucker, Milwaukee getting PJ Tucker, that puts them in this category where I think they can beat Brooklyn. And I've said this in the chat room before, in the podcast and stuff. Not in the podcast, in the WhatsApp group. The two teams that if I was Dane and I was Brooklyn Nets, I'd be friggin' I wouldn't want to play in the playoffs would be Philadelphia and Milwaukee. Because Milwaukee, they can defend 1 through 5. You can put Jrue Holiday on Kyrie. You can put PJ Tucker on James Harden. You can put Giannis on KD. You could put Chris Middleton on KD. You could put, they got
interchangeable. They
got 3-4 defenders that can guard. Now no one's gonna stop KD. When KD's ready to go, no one's stopping KD. When Kyrie's ready to go, no one's stopping. When those guys are ready to go, you can't stop them. Just like
they stop themselves.
You can't stop them, right? But those are guys you can put on guys, and you can make things hard for them. Jrue Holiday is everyone who talks about Jrue Holiday says he's an underrated player, most underrated in the league. So like getting those guys on the court, and then now we all saw what Drummond did to Brooklyn when they played, and especially since Aldridge is gone now, there's nobody who's gonna soak up the middle of the paint. So now when Bucks go Jrue Holiday, Chris Middleton, PJ Tucker, Giannis, and Brook Lopez, who you put on Giannis? You can't put anyone on it, and then Giannis is gonna live in the friggin' paint.
Like, paint, yeah.
It's. Yeah, I honestly think if Brooklyn plays one of those teams second round, which they probably will, I don't think they're gonna get past second round. And I
disagree. I disagree with the Philly one, but the Bucks, matchup wise, will work really well with them.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It does. But when Milwaukee goes cold, they go cold bad, bro.
For sure.
Yeah.
They go,
and you're not going to be able to maintain Brooklyn for a whole game.
You can't stop. So, as I said, you can't stop Brooklyn. But the thing is that Brooklyn thrives in that creating mismatches up and down, spreading the floor, getting their one-on-one players to go downhill where they have the advantage. So like Kyrie Irving and James, all those guys, their best basketball is when they're playing 3-on-4 or they're playing with the advantage on the offense. That's their best basketball because they can dictate what happens on the court. But with Milwaukee and with Philly and Lakers in general, all those three teams, what they do really, really well is they dominate the paint. So when you dominate the paint and you get the free throw line, you slow the game down, then you can set your defense up. And that way you can limit the areas where you're at a disadvantage. So
it's crazy how you didn't mention Miami, because that's what we do. We live in the paint. We create havoc all game. Not just
they do that, but you guys, I think Kyrie would kill you guys.
Bro,
you guys will have a guy where
No, he'll actually get neutralized. It's only KD that will be doing this thing. That's it.
KD always has the any team that KD goes against, whether it's when he was on Golden State, when he was on OKC, when he's now on Brooklyn, any team he goes against, he has an advantage. Period. Even when Braun's guarding him, when Braun was on Cleveland and Braun was like in his prime, KD always had the advantage. So KD's one of those guys where you can't like only you can't do nothing about him. So I'm not even gonna really mention KD really. He's one of those guys that if he wants to score, he's gonna score. Period.
He's different, bro.
Period. But like in that series, who you gonna put on Kyrie?
We play zone, bro. That's what I mean. Like we're not playing man. Like
there's no way you can play zone. There's 0%.
All right. Yo, we're gonna find out tonight.
How are you gonna play zone with the best catch and shoot 3-point in the NBA against Joe Harris? How
you hit some, you miss some, bro. We'll take it.
Zone won't work. I don't think zone will work.
No way. Zone is going to be super tough.
You gotta.
What are you talking like a 2-3 zone?
No, there's no way, bro. You gotta match up.
Yeah, you need to go. You need the matchup. You need the matchup with KD.
I will say one thing towards MJ's question. I do think that the Rondo pickup might be a little bit bigger than the PJ Tucker pickup. And there's only one reason why I'm saying that is because what Rondo's giving you right now is going to be completely different than what Rondo gives you in the playoffs. And I think as we saw last year, that no point guard play for them was a very huge thing when it came to them. It was.
I agree.
And I think when you look at Rondo in the playoffs, his numbers are completely different.
I agree, but my only counter to that is that when he played really well with the Lakers, Rondo wasn't expected to be the primary playmaker every time he's on the court, right? So he had Braun on the court with him. He had AD. He had guys that. Not really. I'll take AD out of there, but he had Braun on the court. So Braun on the court, he is a playmaker on the court. Even though Rondo is there, Rondo can play off of that as a slasher position and be a playmaker. But when Rondo is on Clippers, every time he's on the court, he's a playmaker. So that's even though it's the same role, it's a different set of responsibilities on your shoulders. So he's carrying the whole offensive load for that team. So I think it's the same thing in regards to like he's gonna play better in the playoffs, no doubt. Playoff Rondo is a real thing, even though he hates that moniker, but playoff Rondo is a real thing. But I think it's a different mindset because now when Rondo's in the court, he is the primary ball handler, the primary playmaker. Everything runs through him. So I don't think there's it's a lot on him personally.
There's two things that I see that will hurt the Clippers with Rondo being there. Rondo thrives with having like an athletic big to run pick and roll with. That guy that like end the shot clock to throw a lob to.
They got Zubac.
It's not a JaVale McGee though.
It's not JaVale McGee, but
it's not a JaVale McGee.
They got Zubac. They got some decent
and the fact that it's a mid-season thing. He was with the Lakers for 2 seasons running that offense. So like him jumping into the Clippers now, playoffs are coming up. It might hurt them long term, but we'll see how that goes.
I think with the Denver injury to Jamal Murray, I think them Clippers picking up Rondo, I think it all but seals the Clippers and Lakers Western Conference Finals because I don't think anybody in the West, like nobody's scared about Utah. Nobody's worried about Utah.
No.
Denver was the only team that I saw that had the makeup and the potential and the guard play primarily to kind of get past certain guys. Like
don't sleep on Phoenix, bro.
I'm saying too, man. No experience, but those guys are hungry.
Don't sleep on Phoenix. I think that Phoenix Clippers matchup might be a bad matchup for Clippers if it happens. That's the only.
Enough wing guys. They don't have enough wing guys because. I mean, I'll say this.
Listen,
here's
Paul
my
George.
thing. I was gonna say, here's my
That's
thing.
what
I'm not gonna put my eggs in the Paul George and Kawhi Leonard basket. I'm not gonna do that because I've seen what happened last year. I've seen what Paul George done before in the playoffs.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But if I'm looking at team for team, Paul George and Kawhi have the advantage every time on the court.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
But that Chris Paul Rondo matchup will be good to
tough.
see.
That'd be tough.
In a series. That'll be very fun to see. But
That'd be tough, yeah.
Devin Booker and Paul George have some issues with each other too.
Yeah, yep.
So like,
He's
got Jay Crowder harassing Kawhi Leonard. It's gonna it'll be interesting still, but I honestly have Phoenix winning that series if it was a matchup.
Damn.
Interesting.
Damn.
All right, so let's move on. So we talked about teams that did make moves. What are some teams that you guys feel should have made moves?
I mean, obviously, y'all team.
Who's y'all? Toronto Raptors?
But what move can we make?
Make it clear.
That's
what move you guys should have moved Kyle Lowry.
First, 100%.
Listen. At the end of the day, I get why you don't move a guy like Kyle Lowry. It doesn't change the needle for us, no matter like the guys you might get in return. It doesn't really do anything for the team. So you're better off just kind of holding on to him. It doesn't. I mean,
look into the future. Like if I think right now Masai, he's thinking smaller right now, especially with everything going on, with the way that the season is played. Well, we don't know. We don't know. What if,
anyway, he might be out of here.
I mean, that's what a lot of people are saying too. A lot of people are saying maybe this is the end of the line for him. Maybe it's just like, you know what? It's whatever at this point.
He did his job. He did his job. His time there was definitely.
We got a championship. We were a successful team for a lot of years.
I would say this: if I was Raptors, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that Masai Ujiri was on his high horse and did not make that trade for the Lakers. I'm so fucking happy. I was so pissed.
I would have been upset.
I was so mad when I seen Dennis Schroeder, KCP, fucking THT.
THT?
I was so mad. I'm like, there's no.
But that's what the
way.
THT is what saved it.
THT one is what saved them. They were not giving them to Toronto. That's what saved them because he would have took it.
But regardless, even if it's just KCP and Schroeder for Lowry.
Yeah, I'm not happy.
If I'm Toronto, I'm taking that. Period.
I'm taking, but I don't know how that works for Toronto either. I don't know what they would do with those two pieces, to be honest.
What do you mean? KCP is signed for another 3 years, and then you just give whatever money you have in the bank to give to the Shoulder, and you sign.
They have so many guards on that team, bro.
But Shoulder is one of those guys that he does Lowry. He does dirty work. Like if you say Lowry is number one in charge of taking, Shoulder is like number 2 or 3. So
we would make it work. We would make that work. We would make that work.
Like, and then you get that, and then you get KCP. Imagine having like, there'll be a small lineup, but imagine having these are your guards. You got Shoulder, you got Fred VanVleet, you got fucking Harris or Trent Jr., and you got KCP.
On the court at the same time?
No, I'm not saying on the court, but I'm saying that's your guard rotation.
Yeah,
it's solid.
But who's gonna get KCP the ball? Who's gonna drive and kick to him?
Shoulder.
There's nobody on the Raptors that you got to double team to leave KCP. You don't really have to. You really have to. Like KCP and Trent are guys that relocate. They relocate really well, and they shoot the ball well.
They definitely move without the ball a lot.
And they play defense. Like those are like your. If you were to like rank your like top 5 3-and-D guys in the league, they'd be in your top 5. And you have 2 of those on your team. Come on, man.
I have a question for the Toronto Raptors.
Drop the ball, man.
If Siakam has another like mediocre season, do you guys think about trading him?
Ship him out of there, man.
Yeah, I think it's at this point you just got to cut the cord.
While he's still valuable.
Yeah, I think you got to cut the cord at this point. I mean, it's
ship him out of there.
Clearly, there's something going on with him. It's more than just like we know he's skilled, but this seems mental to me. It just seems like some kind of block or something. I don't know what it is.
You think the money motivated him? You think it was just the money that motivated him? And now that he got that,
I mean, it's possible.
Got that bag.
He's a rich man.
He got paid. He has a ring. Maybe he's just not motivated anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's possible. He did enough to get to secure a bag, and I don't know if that what was driving him the whole time. And then he got it, so it's like, okay, now I got it.
But the biggest thing with that would be like, how do you move him? Because you got to match salaries, right? So that's the biggest reason why
it'll be tough.
That's the biggest reason why Lowry wasn't moved, because you got to match salaries. So Pascal is a max salary guy. So I don't know, like if he has, say he starts in the next, like say Raptors don't make playoffs this year, which they probably won't, and then next season they're under 500 again come trade deadline. Even though Pascal is like his skill set and his talents are like obvious, like his trade value won't be that high because you gotta match his contract. So how many guys, how many teams are gonna want to give you 3-4 talented young guys to match that contract? I don't know how many guys want to do that.
Very hard.
It's crazy because the Raptors could have had Westbrook, Kawhi,
and Paul George.
But they didn't want to give up Siakam.
Man,
we don't need to talk about that. We don't need to discuss that anymore.
Jeez.
I will say this when it comes to
bro.
I'll say this when it comes to Siakam too. I think that one of the things where he's stopped growing because he was so accustomed to being the number 2 guy when he won the championship. Yeah. And when he got paid and he had to become the number 1 guy, I think the pressure is just way too much. I think one of the things that in order for the team to be successful, especially after this season, it's not Siakam's team, to be honest with you, even though he's the highest paid person. It would have to be like Van Vliet's team, who's mentally tough enough to step up into that role. Like, he's better as a Robin, he's not better as a Batman, right? And we've seen Van Vliet mentally be tough enough to do what he has to do and play defense, all that stuff. This season was a difficult season overall. COVID, injuries, all that stuff. And it's across the league. It's not just Raptors, it's across the league, right? So it's just a very interesting thing to see where they go for next season, what their plan is going to be. And I think they need to give the team to Van Vliet and not Siakam. And I know it's difficult because he's higher paid, but it's the people that are mentally tough enough to carry a team compared to the people even in New Orleans before when Anthony Davis left. It was still even though Brandon Ingram was stepping up and being that guy, you could see Drew Holiday was like that mentally tough person that did a lot of the work, right? And I think that's the same type of situation that's happening in Toronto.
Do you
hold on? I think
go on.
I think something else that's not really being mentioned as well is that the Raptors' X factor is not a factor anymore. And what I mean by that is a lot of athletes, when they come to Toronto and they play in Toronto, like it's a whole different thing. So, like for instance, like travel against every other team in the NBA, it's pretty simple travel. Like you don't have to go through customs, none of that stuff. When you come through Toronto, you got to go through customs. So it's a whole different process with kind of getting to the arena, period. And then on top of that, like the Raptors have had probably the best fans in the NBA the last 5, 6, 7 years, right? So those are all things where like you look at football in comparison, like there are certain arenas that you go to where the crowd noise, that extra, like the crowd in like Kansas City accounts for like 3 points a game. Like you know what I mean? Like you're looking at betting and stuff. Like so the crowd in Toronto accounts for what 5-7 points a game. So like there are games where that crowd gives you extra boost. Where okay, shoot, maybe this guy misses a 3 here. Maybe you get an and one other side. Like it's a game inches, right? And I think the crowd and as Senator said with the COVID, all that stuff kind of I think plays into it. And I think that was a X factor that is not really going talked about this year because Raptors haven't played home all year. They've been in Tampa Bay all year.
No.
Right? So
it's been tough. It's been very tough.
Oh yeah.
You guys, like for Fred, would you guys rather him be your point guard of the future or your shooting guard of the future?
It's
like
tough.
what role fits better for Freddie?
Me personally, I see him as
a hooper.
I kind of like him more as a 2 guard. I think he's a guy that will just go out there and get you buckets, but he can facilitate if he needs to facilitate. But I think that as a primary role, I would more want him as a 2. I would kind of want him in that Kyrie Irving spot for Brooklyn, where James Harden is the point guard, and we don't have a point guard to replace him at this point right now. I'm kind of like how Flynn plays. I like how Flynn plays defense and
he can shoot. He can
learning
shoot
how
too.
to facilitate and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But moving forward, I would kind of want him in the 2 role.
Yeah, same as
Oh,
me. Yeah.
The 2.
He's more of a 2 to me.
I think personally, like looking at
But he's
this
like
as a
6
coach,
feet, bro.
I was gonna say, so like looking at this from a coach perspective and like the new modern day basketball, like your guards are pretty much interchangeable. So like us at State, like the last 3-4 years, we've had 2 guards who could play the 1. This year coming up, we're gonna have 2 guards that can play the 1 and a 3 that can play the 1. So I think your guards are interchangeable. So as long as the guy can hoop and like I don't know where I've seen this before, but they're talking about like basketball players, guys who can play basketball. I think it was all the smoke. Guys who can play basketball. And guys who are hoopers, like Fred VanVleet is a fucking hooper. Like no matter what goes on, like he's gonna go out there, he's gonna compete, he's gonna score the ball, he's gonna defend, he's a hooper. Like you can't put VanVleet in a box. You can't say, okay, you're a 1. And VanVleet, his whole thing, like the reason why he went undrafted, because he had a great career at Wichita State with what's the name? Early and all those guys and Wiggins.
Mm-hmm.
He had a great career there, and Ron Baker and stuff. But the problem with him is that he's an undersized guard. He's like 6 feet. So in NBA, you look at it from a NBA standpoint. He's not a point guard because he's not really great at handling the rock. He's not a 2 guard because he can't defend the 2 because he's only 6 feet tall. So he's a tweener. So that's why he didn't get drafted. But all that stuff gets thrown out the window because the dude can hoop. So,
but I look at it like this.
The best of them.
Here's the example that I'll give you for how I see VanVleet and how I would like to see VanVleet moving forward. It's the Iverson in Philly, where you had Eric Snow that was considered the point guard, and Allen Iverson was the 2 guard. But Allen Iverson was still able to do everything that he was able to do. He was able to score. He was able to facilitate if he needed to facilitate. But there was that other person on the court that was considered the 1, but you knew that majority of the time it was going to be Iverson controlling the game, right? And that's the role that I kind of would like to see him in, where he's still able to control the game, but alleviate some of the pressure of him being considered the one, which is why when him and Kyle Lowry are on at times, it works better than when it's just VanVleet and somebody else, or Lowry and somebody else. It's that dual threat of
for sure.
Yeah,
like you look at Philly, like Iverson came in as a point guard. Like that's what he got drafted. He got drafted as a point guard, right? So the Philadelphia was better when they had Eric Snow, and even they had Aaron McKee. Aaron McKee, yeah. So they had 2 other guys who were able to facilitate the offense whenever they needed to, right? So I think the Raptors, the reason why they were so good during that stretch when they won, obviously the injuries helped them out. But the reason why they were so good doing that was because they had Lowry, they had VanVleet, and they had Siakam. So they had 3 guys who really could initiate the offense, get into a set, get out of a set, push the ball up the court. So they had 3 guys that could do that. Whereas now, Lowry has been hurt like a good portion of the season, right? And then you have a COVID kind of got in on the lineup. So you're putting a lot on Fred VanVleet's plates. And we're seeing that, like, we're seeing one of the reasons why he wasn't drafted was because can you really, really rely on him to be that 1? Yeah. Not really, right? So
it's not his forte.
Not his forte. So I think kind of going off Senator just said, like, Raptors really need to go out and find a guy who's going to be a point guard, but a guy who can play that other guard position. So somebody who can come in and kind of fill that slot. I think I was seeing something the other day where they were saying Shea is like a free agent next year or whatever. So I think they were saying that Raptors should really go after getting Shea.
He would probably love to come here too.
That'd be huge.
That'd be a great pickup for us. That'd be huge.
So they were saying that they were kind of saying that Raptors go and kind of get Shea, and Van Vliet's already signed for what 3-4 years. So if you get Shea and add him to that, then you have two guards who kind of play that two guard lineup, and they could bring the ball, who could score, who could defend, who are gritty, can shoot the ball. Like they're very multifaceted. But yeah, that's my spiel on that.
I want them to continue to develop Flynn, because I think he has potential as a backup, as a solid backup guard. It's just a very, like I said, this season for every team, not just Raptors. I never make excuses for the team. I just think it's been rough because you really haven't played a solid game with your starters or your bench, right? Like you've had games where Bremby was the starting point guard. You know what I mean? Like they've been.
You know what's crazy? There's only one team in the whole NBA that has really had their starting lineup a whole year. Yeah, they're the best team. They're the best team in the league, and that's Utah. Utah is the only team until late where they've had until recently where they've had their same five, the same guys going through. Where every other team, Clippers, Lakers, Denver, Chicago, Boston, everybody else has been like a rotating door with the starting five. You know, because Boston lost Marcus Smart, and then they try to put Tristan Thompson in there. Like it's just been all over the place. Kemba Walker has been hurt here and there. Like I think as like going to what you just said, like that camaraderie and that like cohesiveness has been like really, really important. And Raptors,
you don't know what your role is. Yeah, never on a day-to-day basis, you don't know what your role is. It's like if all five of us are playing right now, we know like you might be the point guard, Jermaine might be the two guard, like because that's what you guys are good at. It would be different if we're doing that for this one game, and then the next game we play, and MJ has to play point guard, and you're just like, wait, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, your
all the plays are different. Everything
everything changes.
You're on the fly.
Yeah.
You're on the fly, bro. It's tough. It's difficult.
And then in this season, like in a usual 82 game season, like you can kind of make adjustments. You can kind of do film study. Like I talked to some assistant coach that I know in the league, like you can make adjustments from like one game to another game. But in this shortened season, it's not about adjustments. It's just about that's why Brooklyn, like people are getting confused with Brooklyn. I would say I said it before, but like Brooklyn is so talented. So even if they're losing two stars, they still have one star, and most nights they can compete with any other team in the league.
Yeah.
On a skill wise. So in this league this year with a condensed schedule and like more back-to-backs and not as much days in between to kind of coach and kind of, get a game plan and philosophy in. All it is right now is just, put your five best guys out there, put a simple offense and put like a dribble handoff or a pick and roll or whatever kind of system in and let your talent play. That's what it is right now. And that's why Brooklyn is doing so well. And that's why guys like teams like Utah, who has pretty much they're the same team as they were last year, So like those guys who know systems, that's why Lakers, even though they're missing their two biggest guys, that's why they're able to kind of compete and still be in games because one, they're playing defense, and two, their system is the same. So it's just plugging guys in. Okay, well, you were here last year, you know what to do, go do your thing. So like that's a big thing in this year. So yeah.
All right, so let's move forward real quick. So right now, let's talk about the playoffs. We've already discussed who we thought were going to be threats to the Nets and Lakers. So let's talk about the playoffs. Currently, right now, with this season, we have the play-in games. So there'll be 7, 8. So 7th will face the 10th seed, and 8th seed will face the 9th seed. Isn't it? That's how it works? Because it's 4 teams. It's 4 teams.
I thought what they did was
I think he has it right.
I don't know. I thought it was 7 and 8 play a game, and then to see who has 7th and 8th, and then from there, then they go 8, 9, 10. I thought it was like that.
It's something like that.
All I know is that the bottom 4 teams are going to play each other. So 7, 8, 9, 10 will play each other, right? Yeah. So currently, right now in the East, we have Miami sitting at 7th, Charlotte sitting at 8, Indiana sitting at 9, and Chicago sitting at 10. Do you guys think that these are the bottom 4 teams, or do you think that there will be some surprise team that make it in? Currently, right now, Washington are tied with Chicago for record-wise, and Raptors are 1 game behind. So
those four there are going to be there.
So Miami, Charlotte, Pacers, Chicago.
Yeah, they're going to be there. Raptors. I'm not getting into that.
I disagree. I think the Raptors will somehow slip in closer to the end of the season. I think I think the Raptors will slip in. Remember, this is a team that's been battle tested. They've been there. I think these records are going to be pretty tight for until playoffs start. Everyone's going to be kind of a game back, 2 games back, 3 games back. I think the Raptors are going to somehow squeeze themselves in to get into that play in.
The only way I see that happening is if Charlotte just fucking bottoms out. That's the only way I see it. But if Charlotte still had LaMelo, and like even if LaMelo gone, like they're still a nice young team. So I think Charlotte will be fine. I think Chicago. I think they're gonna get Zach LaVine back soon, so their stock is gonna rise. I think Indiana. I think I was saying it earlier, like in the WhatsApp, but like Indiana's one of those teams where like they're so underrated. Like they got talent from 1 through 10.
They're always there somehow. They're always there somehow.
And they're always in the mix.
They've been hit with COVID and injuries, so like they're a team that can get into it. Who's the other team? It was
Washington doesn't have a chance.
We know Miami is better than their record. You know, like I'm not gonna boost Mira right now, but I know. but we know that Miami is a top 4, top 5 seed in the East. We know that, right? So them being at 7 is a kind of a thing where like Jimmy Butler missed some games, Oladipo was hurt, missed some games. Like it's just a play on the series. But we know talent for talent in a 7-game series, there's not many teams in the East that can beat them. You know, so I think the teams that are there are going to be there. Raptors, I don't think they're going to make that adjustment.
All we need is one winning week and we're back in the hunt. That's the difference right now. All we need is one winning week and we're back in the hunt.
All I know is that the Miami Heat will not have a playoff series this year. They might be in the play-in games. They might be in the play-in games. They're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. They're not gonna be in the first round.
Not gonna have a playoff series.
All right, Jermaine, what do you have to say?
What's the rebuttal, man?
Games. They'll make the play-in games, but they might not make the playoffs this year.
Here, what's your rebuttal?
No, ain't no rebuttaling, man. Ain't no rebuttaling, man. But yeah, that's pretty interesting because from I think you said it. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm right, from 10 to 5, like if you lose a game, bro, you drop. So
right now. So the Knicks has 30 wins. Knicks has 30 wins, and Miami has 28. 28. It's really like 3 games separating. Fifth, even fourth to 8th spot.
Yeah. See, that's what I mean. So if you lose a game, bro, you're dropping no matter what. So, realistically, your thing could happen if Miami don't fix up quick. You know what I'm saying? So, and Raptors could sneak in factor too. You know, they could sneak in like while those teams are messing up.
Mm-hmm.
But I highly doubt will happen, bro, because we got Jimmy the other day talking about these guys are soft, and I agree, bro. These guys are losing. So wake the fuck up, bro. You know,
playing like bitches.
Yeah, New York is about to lose right now to the Pelicans. They're playing right now. They're about to lose to them.
The Knicks. So let's talk about the Western Conference too. Let's talk about their playing games. So right now, 7th place is Dallas. 8th spot is Memphis. 9th is Golden State. 10th is San Antonio Spurs.
Tight, bro. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's so close.
I think so close, bro. I think it's gonna come down. Like honestly, like I think it's just gonna be Memphis and Dallas that are gonna get in. I think those are gonna be okay. I think those are gonna be your 4 teams that are gonna be in the playoff spot, the playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Portland on that?
Are they Portland 6?
Are 6. They're 6.
They'll be fine.
Yeah. So I think those 4 teams will kind of be in that playing game.
Yeah. I agree. The West is a lock right now. I think they're not shifting in the West.
Who is
the 11? Pelicans are 11.
The Pelicans.
Yeah.
So I am gonna say this, and I think Golden State if Golden State faces Memphis in a play-in game, Golden State will sneak into the playoffs. I think with the way how Steph has been playing over these past 10 games, I think he's
Who posted
now.
that stat in the group today?
Ashton. No, was it Dre?
I don't know.
I think it was Dre.
The man has more threes in the last 10 games than any NBA team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I look at it like this. I look at it like if he's right now, they said, I think over the past 10 games, he's averaging 39.1 points per game.
That's crazy.
And I think now they finally figured out what to do at this point. And I think at one point they were trying to I wouldn't say overutilize, but utilize Jameis Wiseman a lot. Then the trade. Then they got Uber was shooting horrible. And then
how long is Wiseman out for?
He's done for the year.
Done for the season.
Oh, out for the year.
Yeah. Yeah. So I just think like now they're starting like Steph. I think in the beginning, Steph was like, I need to like try to get my team involved. I think now he realized like if he doesn't do it, if he doesn't do it, there nobody will at this point right now.
Like,
so
if you watch that Boston game, like he was shooting threes that like those were like
that corner one he hit.
Yeah, bro.
That corner.
Which one? The left-handed and one?
No, well, yeah, there's that one too. But like, the one he hit when
towards the end to cut it.
Oh,
the
step back one.
No. He
in the corner.
In the corner. He was just running and shot that shit. Like, come on, like that's like a fuck you 3.
But it'll splash.
Yeah, so like,
splash, bro.
Like, like that's that's fucked up.
47 points in that game too. He dropped 47. Tatum dropped 44.
But are you guys shocked though that he's doing it? I'm not shocked at all, man.
No. Like, I just think I think he should have done it earlier. That's the only thing. I think he should have.
He was trying.
I know, but I think his mindset was still, I need to get the team involved, right? Like it's now what you see is kind of what you're seeing, and I don't want to make the comparison because it's not the exact comparison, but it's like the closest thing that you can do. It's him just knowing that he's just running around, just doing whatever he needs to do, and let Draymond bring up the ball like how they used to do it, and kind of doing like the Jokic in Denver, right? Have him play point guard, because we've seen stats where Draymond has like 2 points, but like 12 rebounds, 12 assists. You know what I'm saying? So like he's doing, and 7 of those assists might go to Steph, but it's because Steph never stops running without the ball. Like he's running around that court. You know what I mean? So
if Steph did this all year, by the time playoffs came around, he'd be done.
Yeah,
he'd be done.
Yeah. And especially with not that long of a break.
He's trying to do that final push now, trying to see what he can do. But if he was trying to do this from the beginning of the year, he would be done, bro.
Yo, I think
because he runs nonstop.
Yeah.
What are you saying, Jermaine?
I think the organization was trying to tank, and then they realized, oh shit, right around the corner, so let's go to work now. So the way they're playing was kind of weird in the beginning, bro. It was weird.
Well, I mean, it's tough. Like, tank for who though? Like, this is not a strong draft class. Like, you have Cade Cunningham and you have Suggs, but there's not a whole lot of top level.
I don't even know what picks Golden State has, to be honest.
But still, there's not a whole lot of top level talent this year in the draft.
Yeah,
Cunningham
shouldn't be an option.
Cunningham is the number 1 pick this year, and then Suggs probably be
100,
a top 5 pick, and then that UCLA kid probably be a top, like he'll be a lottery pick. The kid with the throw from UCLA, he'll be
this
up there.
Draft class. Nobody's really looking into this one.
It's not like the only pick where it's like it's pretty much a lock is Cunningham. He's the only pick where it's a lock. Everything else is like based on preference.
You can kind of just go off of preference. Exactly. What do you need?
Yeah.
All I know is that Curry, he's finally realizing what LeBron had to go to. You gotta do everything yourself, brother. But do that for 80 plus games and the playoffs, yo.
Yep.
So I'm happy to get another treatment. I'm happy.
So let's talk. Let's talk.
It's sorry.
No,
It's
go-
just crazy
go, MJ.
that I was more interested in the WNBA draft than I will be in the NBA draft coming up.
Oh,
this
for sure.
year.
Yeah, for sure.
That says a lot about
For sure.
what
The talent coming in, for sure.
what yeah, exactly.
So can we talk about it though right now?
Who's her?
Area is
I don't
tough,
know who
bro.
her is. I don't
Area
know
is
that.
tough. The girl from Arizona, she's fucking tough, bro. She's so tough. I don't care. She's so tough. Her and the other girl from fucking West Virginia,
Yeah.
Sweetie, yo, she's tough too, bro.
Yeah,
Bro, she's tough. Like, like the WNBA has talent coming in, and then like what? I think the other day, like, how come there is a one and done for NCAA men's? You look at women's side. There's no one and done. Like Paige, the girl from UConn, she should be in the league right now.
Yeah.
She
You know
should
what I mean?
be.
Like,
I don't know.
She should be in the league
I
right
don't
now.
know.
And like, I don't understand. Like, cause I was watching like parts of it. I was watching a whole lot of ball this year, but I was watching parts of it this year, and like I kept hearing that like, oh, UConn next year is gonna be really good because they're gonna have Paige. They're gonna have the other girl. What's the other girl's name? Fucking the light skinned girl who's going there next year. She's like the number one high school player in the. I don't know if you guys know, but she's like the number one high school player in the States right now. But they're gonna have her and Paige and Aaliyah, and they're gonna have all that. Everyone who's there this year is gonna be there next year, so they're gonna be like ridiculously good next year. Like if they weren't good this year, but like I was wondering, like how come the WNBA won't let them do one and done like how they do in the men's side? That's weird.
It doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know. Yeah,
It doesn't make. There's a lot of things that WNBA needs to fix up on, to be honest. But
it's weird, yo.
We'll see. It seems like they're starting to pay a little bit of attention to it now, so we'll see what they do.
So let's move on. We've talked about this already. It's been a weird year in the NBA. So who do you guys have for MVP right now?
Joker. That's easy.
For me, I'm saying Joker. I mean,
you're playing. So
the man's he's averaging damn near a triple double, 26 and 11 and 9 with 1.5 steals.
What place is he in?
Assists?
What place is he in?
I was just saying,
What place is he in?
he's like fifth. He's like fifth right now.
They are.
No, they're fourth. They're fourth. Lakers are fifth. So like,
if he can keep them afloat, I think he can get it. If he can keep that team afloat.
What if
that's what I'm with.
What if because Lakers and Denver are game and a half apart? So what if Lakers like 80 comes back in a week? So what if Lakers come back and they go to fourth and Denver drops to fifth? You think?
I mean, we're talking what ifs. So let's see that happen first before we can even.
I'm just saying, like you look at Joel Embiid, even though he missed 12 games, they're first in the East. He's dominating. I think Joel Embiid right now
is number 2.
One. I think for me personally, I'd have Joel as my 1. And as much as I don't want to give it to him, I think Harden is number 2, and I think
not anymore.
Joker is a 3.
He's number 5 on my list.
Well, like before the injury, before him missing.
Yeah, he's missed too many.
But like, I'm just going off of right now, as in today. That's how I'm going off of. Like,
Yo, but friend, that's fine.
It depends on what Jokic does without Jamal Murray.
That's what I'm saying. If he can keep that team afloat, that's why I said if he can keep them afloat, then that makes a difference.
To his credit, he's 2-0 right now? 2-0 or 2-1? Because they played Bulls and
I believe 2-1.
They destroyed the Bulls. Yeah. And then they played
they beat Miami.
They beat Miami. They beat a triple double.
Bulls Miami. So yeah, they beat the Bulls by like 30. So I think they're either 2-0 or 2-1 or 2-0 or 2-1.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah.
I got Joel Embiid though.
I got Joel.
I'm not even mad at that too. I got Joker, Jerome Embiid, Luka number 3, Greek 4, and then Dame 5 right now.
They're 7th though, man. Dallas is 7th.
You guys tell me.
But I'm just saying anything can happen from here to now.
Like when we first started this season, the podcast, I said Dallas was gonna be my top 4 seed, and they're like this. They're not as bad as Pelicans because Pelicans are playing like dog shit right now. but I thought Dallas was gonna be a top 4 seed. So the fact that they're in 7th right now is like
they're a little inconsistent.
I'm not impressed by that.
You guys tell me why Giannis won MVP the last 2 years, and then tell me why Joel shouldn't win it. Giannis won because he was first in the East and he had the numbers. Joel Embiid is averaging like 30 and 13.
But
He's
missed
snapping.
he's missed like 12, 13 games though.
I
I mean,
understand that,
due to the situation we're in, right? But and then he got injured, yeah. But
Jokic fifth seed.
he's
Winning
been competing,
MVP, I don't know.
though, man.
If Joel Embiid finishes the year off and he doesn't miss more than say 5 games to finish the year off, because he's not gonna play back to back. So if he doesn't miss more than 5 games going forward, and his numbers stay around 32 and 10, 32 and 12 a game, and Philly is number 1 seed in the East, he's MVP.
I will say at the current moment, I will say it's Joel. But I also will say this. Looking at the standings, Philly only has 3 more wins than Denver. And Jokic is very close to a triple-double for the season.
I know Jamal Murray.
Not too far off of points. I think it's only 1 or 2 rebounds that differentiate them, but is averaging way more assists than him. So there is a possibility. It's a very close race for me. At this point, I do have Embiid, but I also don't trust the fact that he will stay healthy for the rest of the time. And I think he will end up missing a bunch of games. So Joker can definitely slide into number 1 for MVP in my book.
So I'm gonna play devil's advocate right now. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. But y'all remember Steve Nash's second MVP?
Oh man, I knew you were gonna bring that up, brother.
No, I'm just asking. Like, Steve Nash second MVP, like they were number 1 in the East and in the West, right?
Who did he beat for that award again?
Oh, Kobe and Braun.
Oh.
He beat Braun. He beat Kobe and Braun, and Braun was I think one game win difference. And
Bro,
Kobe
he was like murdering that year, bro.
And Kobe was like 3 or 4 games win difference.
Yeah.
3 or 4 games point difference, but he had like the average like 35 that year, and brought a team with like fucking Smush Parker to the NBA.
Yep.
So I think the point differential, the win differential matters, but like end of the day, only thing that matters in the NBA is this narrative. That's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
So that's what got Westbrook his MVP. That's what got Giannis his
an 8
MVP.
seed.
Yeah, that's what it's just. And if Braun,
But doesn't that go towards my point though?
Yeah, no, I mean it goes towards the point, but I'm just saying like the narrative I think is in
It was Joker, man.
Is in Embiid's favor. So I think no matter what happens,
I think it's in Embiid's favor now, though, because recently they've just been giving it to like the top seeded player that has good stats. You don't have to have the best stats, but if you're number 1 seed and you're in like top 3 in stats,
bro, it's been like Steve Nash won MVP and he averaged like 16 and fucking 12, bro.
Yeah, when Westbrook won, he was an 8 seed though.
8 seed, I know, but that narrative, that narrative has always kind of been there. Like, you don't have to be the most valuable. Ever being real, like fuck LeBron, straight the fuck up.
Excuse me?
Fuck LeBron. Fuck
Wow.
LeBron James.
Bro, he just helped you win the championship, bro.
I mean, it's Laker nation, not LeBron nation. But but if we're being real, Bron could have won MVP the last 6 years straight.
Oh, yeah.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years straight. You know what I mean? So most valuable player to me is like
Matter, man.
I don't know. Like every year it changes. The narrative changes every year. Like first it's like, oh, like Westbrook has historical stats. Like he's gonna fucking like triple double never been done or whatever. Like historical stats. And then you look at Giannis having probably equal to or better stats than he had last year. And he's not even in the category. He's not even being discussed right now. Like we're talking about everybody else except for Giannis, right? And the media kind of controls his narrative. Where it's like, shit, we're gonna get Giannis out of here because because Giannis has had no playoff success. Like the last 2 years, he's been embarrassed in the playoffs. So we're not even gonna consider him. So he's not most valuable. When reality is his numbers are equal. So why isn't he even being considered? So it's like the media control all this stuff. So it's tough to really say who's going to be.
I don't know if I would say media controls all of it. I do understand about painting the narrative on who they want to win and all that type of stuff. I also just think that if Giannis played better, then he would be talked about a lot more. I'm not saying regular season. I'm saying you won back-to-back MVPs. You were number one seed each time, and you got bounced out each year, right?
I thought it was a season award.
Yeah, it is season award. Yeah,
it is. But I'm saying the way how people look at it at this point, right?
Yeah. So that's the media.
I'm not saying media. I'm saying general people. How many people got on? Not media. I'm saying even on here, we've talked about how underwhelming he's performed in the playoffs and stuff like that. So when we look at in people's mind at this point, they're like, what's the point of giving him the MVP? Because it's not like he does anything with it, right? It's just like
I agree. Like I think the award should be given like after the first round of the playoffs. So it should include the first round of the playoffs, maybe even the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. Honestly, maybe even the first 3 rounds of playoffs. And then you have fucking the finals MVP as just the finals alone, right? But like, if we included that, then Giannis wouldn't have got MVP the last 2 years
at all.
It would have been
LeBron.
LeBron, right? If we included all those stuff, but like, if it's just the season awards, like we can't use Giannis' fault. Yeah, we can't use Giannis' fault in posting against him.
Yeah.
That's NBA's fault, though.
It is the NBA's fault.
It's the NBA's fault, not the media. It's NBA's fault for allowing the award to be given out so late. You need to give it out closer to the ending of the season, so that fans, media, everybody aren't looking at anything else, right? Because then you start looking at other factors of it, and then you're saying, okay, sometimes you can't even remember when the playoffs actually started compared to whatever. Yeah. So when you see horrible play, when you see Orlando Magic really giving them a tough time at certain points and could have squeaked out a few of those games when you should have just dominated that team, you know what I mean? Like, in people's mind, it changes. But let's move to the final thing because we've been on here for a very long time. So, who has the best poster dunk of this season?
All right, before anybody answers,
I'll start because I know we all are going.
I'm going to say this, bro. If I don't hear this one name, I'm logging off, bro.
I'll start because I know what y'all are thinking.
Yeah.
It's a shit show over here. But I'm going to say the best poster to me this year has to be is Edwards on Watanabe.
Yep.
No. God damn. 100. I don't know what Watanabe was thinking.
100, bro.
I don't know what he was thinking. But my heart goes out to Watanabe and his entire family. My heart goes out to
but y'all won the game, so it don't matter. Y'all won the game, though.
That's facts, yeah.
I know.
And the ref cheated it.
Bro, it didn't
the
feel
man
like
stepped
we won
out
the
of bounds.
It didn't feel like we won the game. I felt like we lost.
No, the ref cheated.
The dunk of the year, guys.
I was going to say that.
Dunk of the year.
Because
it's on a shot blocker.
On Capella?
Because it's on a shot blocker.
Bridges.
Oh, Bridges. That was up there too, man. That was I don't know. Like,
it was nasty.
That's number one. Because of who it's on.
That Edwards Watanabe one, I'm sorry. That Edwards crazy.
He dunked on the water boy of the Toronto Raptors.
No, don't do that. No, we're not doing that.
Bridges actually dunked on a shot blocker. Bro.
We're not doing that.
That met him at the rim, and man. I'm sorry.
We're not saying Watanabe is like having you out there. We're not doing that.
Pew.
Who is that? But who is that?
We're not doing that.
All right, Fatfair. Okay, Fatfair. Okay.
Oh man.
All right, that was a good one.
I mean, who
do you guys think it is though?
I got Bridges still.
Yeah, Bridges.
I think it's the like, I look at everything like the dunk matters too, but just like the circumstance and the reaction, like all that matters as well. Like when I remember Vince Carter postering the French
Alonzo?
Guy. No,
I'm gonna pull up both of them for us to watch.
Yeah, please and thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
when I look at Vince, don't who's this? All right, this is Bridges right here.
Yeah, this is cute.
This
Man
is
says
cute.
cute?
You're crazy,
Bro, look at the score. Look at the score. Like, I don't know.
You're
It's just
crazy, bro.
It's just a reaction. Everything is just there, bro. Like,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, okay, he missed it. Yeah, all right, get it back out. Got Francis on. There we go. 2 dribble. Yeah.
oh
No,
my
I'm sorry.
goodness, man.
Nah,
You're
I'm
telling me
sorry,
this
bro.
is better than the Edwards and Watanabe?
The reaction.
You're saying it
bro.
because both of them fell on the ground. That's why it's better.
Look at that. Oh my goodness. Look at the
No,
reaction.
I'm sorry, bro. Look at
Nah.
the chain.
No. Show the other one now. Oh my god.
To me, I don't know. I think
But because of Clint, his name, that's what makes it a better dunk on for me. It's like when Jordan dunks on Mutombo. It's like
Tumble?
when,
Yeah, like what I was
you know
saying.
what I'm saying?
Like you look at when I think about the dunk on the 7'2" guy. Yeah, I think about Vince jumping over him. Yes, that's number one. But I also think about KG almost punching Vince in the face.
Yeah,
And
in
he
the
was so
face,
hyped.
yo. He almost
You know what I
knocked
mean?
him out.
Like, yeah, like I think about that.
No.
Because
Vince almost punched KG in the face.
Yeah, because he was so hyped.
I mean,
so
how tall is Edwards? What is he? 6'3"?
6'5"?
5'4"? And
So
isn't the Watanabe like 6'9"?
I don't know. Man.
Is he?
Yeah,
Watanabe seems like a pretty tall guy to me. He seems like
look that up, please, man.
So I mean,
Soft like
you're acting like this guy. He dunked on some small guy.
It's
like,
number two.
Watanabe,
No, it's number two. It's number two. It's number two.
Here we go.
But nobody knew who this guy was until
This shouldn't even count because he stepped out of bounds.
Oh my god, they're bugging, bro.
Come on,
It's
he did it on a guy on my team, and this is crazy.
Nah,
man. I'm sorry, that's crazy.
Y'all are bugging.
He like hugged him in the air too.
Y'all are
like, that's crazy.
bro.
He stepped out of bounds.
And it shouldn't count.
It didn't. It wasn't called, so we're not doing this.
Yo, he got the Hall of Fame contact finisher, bro.
Yeah, bro. We'll see at the end of the year because NBA,
ESPN,
everyone does like
they'll do something. They'll do something.
You know what? Let's not wait till the end of the year. For our listeners of the Chat Room Podcast, we're gonna put a poll up when we put out this episode, and you guys can decide who you guys think had the better dunk.
Right.
Was it Anthony Edwards or was it Miles Bridges? We're gonna bring it. We're gonna let our audience do the talking for us. We're not gonna wait for ESPN.
All right, sounds good.
And at this point of the podcast, we have reached where we get to promote our social medias and anything else that we might be working on. So, Dwayne, we'll start with you.
Y'all could just follow me on IG, Chaz_Tenenbaum, TENENBAUM. Cabby certified.
Cabby certified. All right, dope. Jermaine.
Yeah, my IG, I'm MAIRCREED, personal trainer.
Okay, dope. MJ.
You can follow me at 21.drip on Instagram. Also follow at Drippy Supply. We have some new merch out, some sweaters and stuff. So if you go to drippysupply.com, you can see some merch there. You can order it online. We'll have it shipped out to you.
I'll be back home in 2 weeks, yo. So
Yes, sir.
Got you.
Tracksuit, man.
Got you.
Dope. Coach.
Yeah, my IG is real deal _Francis, and about it, man. It's here. Got snow outside right now, so I'm just here.
And as for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at The Senator. Don't forget to check out the Not So Soft podcast. We would have returned the week when you hear this. We took a 2-week break after we hit episode 100. So now we're back recording again. Also, don't forget to check on my Twitch page. I took a little break from that too, but I'm going to get back into that. Twitch.tv/itsthesenator. Also, don't forget to follow the Instagram page of the Chatroom Podcast at the.chatroompod. If you have any takes, if you think these guys are idiots and you just want to let us know, feel free to email it to us at thechatroompod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to like, rate, subscribe, and share the Chatroom Podcast wherever you listen or watch. Let's get those YouTube numbers up. Let's get our listeners up. Tell a friend to tell a friend that the best podcast is out right now, the Chatroom Podcast. So they need to come listen and check it out. And last thing I'll say is, fellas, great episode. It's always great to just have you guys have you guys in here and just having just us. And more merch will be on the way. So
sure,
make sure you tune into that and make sure you go support Drippy Supply too. It's all family over here. Big shout out to SA. Hopefully he landed safely and he's enjoying his trip over there. Make sure to check out Talks with the Chatterbox. The last quick chatter episode that came out was featuring the Not So Soft podcast. So make sure to check that out. And this has been the Chatroom Podcast, your favorite baller's favorite podcast. And we are out. Peace.
Out of here, man. We out of here.